It's Brian Preston, the money guy.
Postman has a question. He says, does it make sense to slow down investing to pay cash for grad school? Currently investing 25%. It would need to take out about $30K in loans. He's 27 and he definitely considers himself a financial mutant. So how should he approach grad school?
Okay, there was a lot of, I want to make sure. So
Totally.
So how old did Postman say he was?
He's 27.
27, grad school.
Grad school. Would love to pay cash for it.
Cash.
He's investing 25%, which is great.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so
he's already investing
total financial
25%.
mutant. Yes, but he would need to take out about $30,000 in loans if he continues. I'm kind of inferring if he continues to invest that much.
Well, first let's do the low-lying fruit because I love Jonah, who works here at the firm. I had Jonah. He did an internship last year with us, and he says, "Hey, I'm an accounting major. Should I go back and get that fifth year? Because fifth year required, I'd have to go back. I'd probably have to take on some student loan debt, but that would set me up to sit for the CPA exam. Or should I just jump right into my financial planning career? Because Jonah's working here. So I gave him the career because I was like, let's talk about this. So does it make sense for you to take on debt for more education? Because I think a lot of people are at that crossroads. And for Jonah, I was like, yeah. Hopefully he doesn't mind I'm sharing this. I was like, yeah, I think you're going to, when you're going to reach a level of success. I just knowing this guy, he's going to reach a level of success that I think he's going to look back and say, hey, I wish I'd been able to sit for the CPA exam, pass the CPA exam, have that credential in the background. And so we kind of made that decision. But here's the low-lying fruit. Jonah is actually being a teacher, a TA at graduate level, and it's wiping out a ton of the cost of education. So I first want to know if Postman has gone through the low-lying fruit. Is there things and behaviors and actions you can do to minimize? I've also shared my niece, who I also think is awesome and want her to work here too. Can you tell I'm running my own jobs program? She was an RA. And now I know that's not for graduate school, but I say that not for the Postman. I say that for somebody else who's trying to figure out how much student loan do I take for education versus the decision of maximizing the opportunity. And I'm always saying, make sure you're looking at the non-financial decisions that you can do behavior-wise, which is if you're in your undergrad, maybe you can go be a resident assistant on the dorm hall so that you can get your housing completely free. If you're a graduate school, maybe you can go be a TA and get a lot of your tuition wiped out. Take advantage of those things first. Now, then we can pivot to, okay, now that we've minimized this down till we've got it to the smallest impact of what the cost is as possible, I think there is nothing wrong if Postman wants to figure out how he can, because he's already doing 25%. So what I'm trying to figure out is that means that's based on income, and his income might be going down. I would, Postman, I would focus on making sure you're at least doing your Roth IRA, because the government limits how much you can put in that each year, $6,000. And it'd be a shame if you don't max out that. So maybe after beyond that, you could then look at how do I minimize the debt? Because especially student loan debt, I'd be curious what the interest rate is. With interest rates going up, it very well could fall into the category of high interest debt to a degree. If we're getting over 6.5% to 7%, that I would pay attention to that, Postman. There's a lot of variables there. I hope I gave you something to go kind of look at, because it really is an individualized answer for you. But I would make sure I'm still doing Roth. Because the government won't give you those years that you miss funding those accounts. And then I would try to get out of grad school with as low of a student loan impact as possible.
Yeah. Good advice. Thank you so much for your question. Best of luck in grad school, Postman.